The identity of Jack the Ripper, who terrorized London in 1888, remains unknown. The Bermuda Triangle is a region in the Atlantic Ocean where numerous ships and planes have mysteriously disappeared. The Voynich manuscript is a medieval document written in an unknown script and language. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart in 1937 during her around-the-world flight remains unsolved. The Loch Ness Monster is a mythical creature said to inhabit Scotland's Loch Ness. Stonehenge's purpose and the methods used to construct it are still debated by archaeologists. The Mary Celeste, an American merchant ship, was found deserted in the Atlantic Ocean in 1872 with no sign of the crew. The identity of the Zodiac Killer, who terrorized Northern California in the late 1960s, remains unknown. The lost city of Atlantis, described by Plato, has never been definitively located or proven to exist. The purpose of the Nazca Lines, large geoglyphs in Peru, remains a mystery. The Dyatlov Pass incident involved the mysterious deaths of 9 hikers in the Ural Mountains in 1959. The origin of the Shroud of Turin, believed by some to be the burial cloth of Jesus, is still debated. The Taos hum is a low-frequency noise heard by residents and visitors in Taos, New Mexico, with no identifiable source. The identity of the man in the iron mask, imprisoned in France during the 17th century, remains unknown. The Oak Island Money Pit in Nova Scotia is believed to contain buried treasure, but its secrets remain unearthed. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 in 2014 remains one of aviation's greatest mysteries. The Antikythera mechanism, an ancient Greek analog computer, was discovered in a shipwreck, and its full purpose is still unclear. The construction techniques used to build the Great Pyramids of Giza are still a topic of debate among historians. The identity of D.B. Cooper, who hijacked a plane in 1971 and parachuted with ransom money, is unknown. The Mothman, a legendary creature reportedly seen in West Virginia in the 1960s, has never been explained. The disappearance of the Roanoke colony, the first English settlement in America, remains unsolved. The identity of the Somerton man, found dead on an Australian beach in 1948 with a mysterious code, remains unknown. The Green Children of Woolpit, 2 mysterious children with green skin who appeared in England in the 12th century, have never been explained. The purpose of the ancient site of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, built around 9600 BCE, is still debated. The origin of the mysterious sounds known as the bloop, detected underwater in 1997, remains unknown. The cause of the Tunguska event, a massive explosion in Siberia in 1908, is still debated. The identity of the Monster of Florence, a serial killer in Italy during the 1970s and 80s, remains unknown. The origin and purpose of the ancient structures on Easter Island remain mysterious. The existence of Bigfoot, a large ape-like creature reportedly seen in North America, remains unproven. The mystery of the Hinterkaifeck murders in Germany in 1922, where an entire family was killed, remains unsolved. The origin of the Phaistos disc, a clay disc from ancient Crete with unknown symbols, is still debated. The purpose of the Karnak stones in France, thousands of prehistoric standing stones, is unknown. The Beale ciphers supposedly contain the location of buried treasure, but have never been decoded. The purpose of the Baghdad battery, an ancient artifact that may have been an early form of battery, is still debated. The identity of the Pollock twins, who reportedly exhibited memories of their deceased sisters, remains a mystery. The existence of the Kraken, a legendary sea monster, has never been proven. The identity of the Babushka lady who may have filmed the JFK assassination remains unknown. The purpose of the Georgia Guidestones, a mysterious monument with cryptic messages, is still debated. The fate of the Franklin expedition, lost in the Arctic while searching for the Northwest Passage, remains partially unknown. The cause of the mysterious hum heard in Windsor, Ontario, has not been definitively identified. The identity of the man from Taured, who allegedly appeared at a Tokyo airport with documents from a non-existent country, remains unknown. The fate of the Lost Amber Room, a treasure from the Catherine Palace in Russia, remains a mystery. The identity of the Black Dahlia, a woman murdered in Los Angeles in 1947, remains unknown. The purpose of the Long Yu Caves in China, ancient man-made structures, is still debated. The mystery of the dancing plague of 1518, where people danced uncontrollably to their deaths, remains unexplained. The cause of the Salem witch trials, where people were accused of witchcraft and executed, is still debated. The identity of the Whitechapel murderer, also known as Jack the Ripper, remains unknown. The fate of the lost colony of the Norse Greenlanders, who vanished in the 15th century, remains a mystery. The purpose of the ancient crystal skulls, believed by some to have mystical powers, is debated. The origin of the Ulfbert swords, high-quality Viking swords, is still unclear. The cause of the Great Chicago Fire of 1871 remains partially unknown. The purpose of the Roman dodecahedrons, ancient objects with unknown function, remains a mystery. The identity of the man in the plastic mask, a mysterious figure seen during the 1941 Pearl Harbor attack, is unknown. The existence of the chupacabra, a creature said to drink the blood of livestock, remains unproven. The purpose of the Sacsayhuaman walls in Peru, made of precisely cut stones, is still debated. The cause of the Philadelphia experiment, an alleged military experiment involving invisibility, remains a conspiracy theory. The identity of the Highgate vampire, a figure reported in a London cemetery in the 1970s, remains unknown. The purpose of the ancient stone spheres in Costa Rica is still a mystery. The origin of the Tunguska event, a massive explosion in Siberia in 1908, is still debated. The identity of the Zodiac killer, who terrorized Northern California in the late 1960s, remains unknown. Fate of the lost Roman Ninth Legion, which disappeared from historical records in the 2nd century, remains a mystery. The purpose of the Kensington runestone, a controversial artifact found in Minnesota, is still debated. The cause of the Great Molasses Flood in Boston in 1919, which killed 21 people, remains partially unknown. The purpose of the Drapa stones, ancient discs found in China, is still a mystery. The identity of the Beast of Gévaudan, a creature that terrorized France in the 18th century, remains unknown. The purpose of the ancient pyramids of Nubia, similar to those in Egypt, is still debated. The identity of the Mad Gasser of Mattoon, who allegedly attacked people with gas in Illinois in the 1940s, remains unknown. The purpose of the Plain of Jars in Laos, large stone jars scattered across the landscape, is still a mystery. The identity of the Hinterkaifeck killer, who murdered a German family in 1922, remains unknown. The purpose of the Rock Gate in Florida, a structure built single-handedly by Edward Leeds Calnan, is still debated. The identity of the Axeman of New Orleans, a serial killer in the early 20th century, remains unknown. The cause of the Great Emu War in Australia, a military operation against emus, remains partially unknown. The purpose of the ancient city of Teotihuacan in Mexico, built by an unknown civilization, is still debated. The identity of the boy in the box, a young boy found dead in Philadelphia in 1957, remains unknown. The cause of the mystery airship sightings in the late 19th century remains unexplained. The purpose of the Copper Scroll, an ancient treasure map found among the Dead Sea Scrolls, is still a mystery. The identity of the Greenbrier ghost, whose testimony allegedly solved her own murder, remains unknown. The purpose of the ancient temples of Malta, some of the oldest structures in the world, is still debated. The cause of the Great Moon Hoax of 1835, where people believed in life on the moon, remains partially unknown. The identity of the Yeti, a creature said to inhabit the Himalayas, remains unproven. The purpose of the Carnac stones in France, thousands of prehistoric standing stones, is unknown. The cause of the Great Stink of 1858 in London, where the Thames River smelled terrible, remains partially unknown. The purpose of the stone spheres of Bosnia, large spherical stones found in Bosnia and Herzegovina, is still debated.